What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, okay, making their debut on the channel tonight, we have, hope I pronounced this right, we have Abhorson. Yes, indeed, how about that? Abhorson making their debut on the channel. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-boobidi-bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Rudy Zimmerman, and Rudy wanted to see me react to this song by Abhorson called, again, I hope I pronounced this right, Cirris. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, I've heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by Where Post Rock Dwells, okay? And the video has 4,100 views. It's not gonna get you there, sorry. No, look, I'm sure the song is fine, I'm sure the video is fine. I'm just saying 4,100 views is not gonna get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Abhorson, The Weather Front, album 2022. So yeah, this is an entire album. This whole video, and I was told that Cirris, which is right here, starts at 118, which is right where we're at, and I'm supposed to stop at 635. So hopefully I'll hit that mark. I'm gonna put it right here, and we're gonna hope for the best that I actually remember to stop at 635. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
like that bass tone. That with that little bit, I don't even know if I'll call that distortion. It's just got a little bit of overdrive to it. I mean, it is technically a type of distortion, so I guess we'll give it that, but not too much. Here's the thing I've always said to bass players, whenever they ask me, how do I use distortion on bass? I always tell them very carefully and very sparingly. Because you're in that lower register, you're in that lower frequency range, if you add distortion to your bass like a guitar player would, it's going to sound super muddy. It really is. You got to really make sure that your distortion type is appropriate for that lower register. You got to make sure your levels are right, your overdrive level's right, your bite level is right, your drive levels are right. You got to make sure everything is dialed back, because trust me, a little distortion on bass goes a long way. From what I'm hearing so far in that little riff coming in, that's about where you want it to be. You can go a little bitier if you want, but for this, I wouldn't. I like where this is going. I like the fact that, okay, for starters, we're in 4/4. The entire time we have been in 4/4. They have played around with the 3 feel a little bit at the beginning. They were on that, if you listen to what the accents were happening within the guitar and bass, you could feel the 3. But if you lock in with the drummer, in particular, lock in with, I don't know if that's a crash or a splash. It's one of the two, but it's right there on 2 and 4, 2 and 4. And you can lock into that very easily. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I know you can feel the 3 in there. You can, but trust me, it's 4/4. It's been 4/4 the entire time, despite the fact that the song is really trying to mess you up with some really nice subdivision work. But never losing sight of the 4/4. So I like it. I really like it. And I like how they're using the subdivision work to give it the illusion of other time signatures, trying to mess you up, trying to make you feel like, oh, hold on, we're in 7/8, and then the next measure is 9/8, But no, it's 4/4. I promise you, it is. But it's cool how they're doing that. And it's not doing it, and it's not trying to be overly complex and sacrificing groove and feel in order to be complex, because it's not. The groove is there. You have to lock into it. You have to find it. But once you do, and you lock in, and you stay locked in, you'll have no problem. You'll have absolutely no problem. I was able to find the groove pretty fast, actually. It took me a couple measures. It took me, I would say, probably about 4 measures. 4 measures for me to find the 4/4, and then probably another 2 to 4 measures to find the groove and lock into it. Once I've been there the whole time. And it's nice. It feels nice. It feels good. So, is this an instrumental? We're a little over 2 minutes in, about almost 2 minutes and 20 seconds in. And I haven't heard any vocals yet. So I'm curious, is this an instrumental? Because if it is instrumental, we have to approach the songwriting a little bit differently. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how this goes. Let's keep going here. Switching the feel, just the feel between a 4 and a 6. I like that. Lock in with the cymbals, you'll be there every time. more seconds. Okay, completely cut out. I'm gonna let it go just a little bit longer because I'm curious. Yep, a complete and total fade. Okay, so it fades out completely. It doesn't bleed over into the start in the next song. Okay, yeah. Yeah. I don't want to give away my hand too much. I mean, I'm sure you could probably guess how I feel about the song, but I don't want to give too much away. So I already know pretty much where I'm going to go with this. So I am not going to have to think too long about it, but I do want to give it a little thought just to make sure I'm not missing anything. So let me get my thoughts together. It's not going to take long, I promise. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Abhorson. I hope I pronounced that right. Again, I hope I pronounced the name of the song right. With a tune called Cirris. This was a request from Rudy Zimmerman. Okay, there's not a lot to talk about, but the few things that we do need to talk about, I want to spend some time on. So let's get to it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that an 8.2. Yeah, 8.2. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
It's a great tune. It is. There's a lot of great things happening in this song. But if I'm being honest, folks, not something I would listen to on a regular basis. Every once in a while, I might be in the mood to listen to something like this. And if that mood ever does hit me, I will go looking for this because I will remember it, I promise. But those are few and far between. I have to really be in the mood to listen to something like this. But nonetheless, it is a great song. There's some really great things happening here. Number one, probably the biggest thing for me, the fact that we're in 4/4, the entire song, we were in 4/4. That never changed. Despite the fact that we were in 4/4, there was some great subdivision work that was happening in there and some great playing around with feel to give it the illusion that we weren't always there. Looking at the beginning, it would start off giving the illusion of like 9/8 followed by 7/8 to give it that 16, which would travel out to 4/4. Now it gave the illusion, yes. And I'm gonna be honest with you, folks. At the very beginning, I kind of fell for it. I was like, wait a minute, where are we going with time? Then I locked into that. I'm not sure if it was a crash or a splash. I think it was a crash. It might have been a splash. It might have even been a China. I'm not 100% sure, but I heard the ringing cymbal, and it was constantly on the 2 and the 4. 2, 4. And I was like, wait a minute. Am I being punked? I am being punked. It is 4/4. And then they even played with it when we got out of it, and where the bass came in with that light distortion patch and it got lightened up a little bit, the drummer started to play around. And the bass player started to play around, and the guitar player started to play around a little bit. And it started to give the illusion of the first half being 4/4 of each phrase. It was 4/4 and then a 6/8, and then a 4/4 and a 6/8. Only in the illusion. If you lock in with the cymbal work, the cymbals were constantly on 4/4 the whole time. Just playing with the feel to give it the illusion, playing with the 3s against the 4s. I've always been a big fan of that. I always have. So yeah, that was impressive, and they did it well. Again, to the point where I had to take a moment and go, wait a minute, did we just... No, we didn't. There's the cymbals. Okay, we're still in 4/4, but the illusion almost got me. Some great subdivision work, some great syncopation work happening with those unified lines when everybody was playing all together. hitting those accents. And I'm like, wow, that's nice. It's clean. Gotta give it credit. And when they would do that, especially when they would play in unison, they would hit those syncopations, those synchronized lines and hitting those accents together. Again, it almost threw me for a loop. And I'm like, that's really cool. It's really cool. Here's the thing though. At the end of the day, it is an instrumental. Now, instrumentals, you have to approach, when you write an instrumental song, you have to approach your songwriting from the standpoint of, this is going to be an instrumental. So there's going to have to be a lot of things happening in here that you wouldn't do with a typical song that has vocals. Because now the instrumentation has to carry the main melodic line rather than vocals. So everything has to change around. I know a lot of people right now are going, wait a minute, what about taking a regular song with vocals and just taking out the vocals? Isn't that an instrumental? Technically, yes, it's an instrumental version of that song. But when you write a song as an instrumental, there's a big difference, a huge difference. Your songwriting approach has to completely change because you're not going to have vocals to carry the burden of the load of the melodics and where the song's going to go and the direction of the song. You're not going to have vocals set up transitions. You're not going to have the vocals to lead the way. That's going to be up to the instruments. And then, unfortunately, when you have a guitar, in this case, a guitar leading the charge, you can't rely on that guitar to fill out the sound. That's where everybody else now has to step up their game and fill out the sound. Whereas with a song with vocals, it doesn't have to do that as much. So your songwriting approach to writing an instrumental has to be different than when you are writing a song with vocals. I know a lot of people are going, that doesn't make sense. Trust me. I know musicians are going to get it. I know songwriters are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. It's hard to describe. But when you're writing an instrumental, you really have to approach, and this is going to sound redundant, but you have to approach writing an instrumental as an instrumental, and knowing you're not going to have vocals to come in and save the day, basically. They did a fine job of that. You could tell they put a lot of thought into this and a lot of work into this. And it was very well executed. It really was. It was clean. It kept my interest. I know that it was how long? It was over 5 minutes, about 5 minutes and we'll say 5:20, okay? 5 minutes and 20 seconds and I was never bored. Not once. And the thing is, when they would switch up, it wasn't so often that you got lost. It wasn't so often that you're sitting there going, wait a minute, I didn't get a chance to get into the groove. Wait, come back. I never felt that. Every single time they would transition into a new feel or a new direction, it gave it time. They gave the song time to mature, to marinate, to really reach maturation, before they would transition to the next part. And I appreciate that. And listen, it's very easy to rush things because you want to get to the next part and you're excited to get to the next part. But when you are writing a song like this, you can't do that. You have to give the listener a chance to find the groove, reestablish the groove, because not everybody can lock in with the cymbals. You know, there's going to be people who are going to not understand that and they have to feel the groove out for themselves, and they do. And once they get it, they're ready to move on to the next thing. And that's exactly how they approached it. I thought it was a really well done job. It's a great song. But like I said, it is a great song, some great songwriting, some great execution, some great instrumentation. Having said that, not something I would listen to on a regular basis. I'm going to have to be in the mood to listen to this. But I guarantee you, if I am in the mood to listen to some really nice instrumental music like this, this is going to be one of the songs that I'm going to look up. I can promise you. So yeah, 8.2, I feel good about that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap this up in a nice pretty bow, shall we? 8.2, great scale rating, 4 out of 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.